boy?
Yep. You know what's going on, brother. Just the youngest out here trying to put on for the young cats out here in the streets. The
That's
same
what's
same
up, man.
day,
What's up?
same shit. It's a different day, bro.
So BSK, bro, I'm gonna start this segment, man, where I'm gonna talk to the youth, the future of the roll race community, a lot of the younger boys, because that's where the future lies. You know what I'm saying? I'm here as a vessel for y'all guys. You know what I'm saying? I love the racing, I love all that, but building a platform for you guys and to be able to shed light on you guys is why I'm here, bro. So we were supposed to do this a while back. We couldn't get on the same timeline, but we're here now.
Yep. We
So,
here now. Let's get it cracking, bro. Let's get it rolling, man.
so I want to talk to you, bro. Your beginnings in the bike scene. What brought you into it? What gravitated you towards the scene?
All right. So what originally kicked it off for me was my father passing away. What had kicked off me racing the whole, just being around motorcycles and getting on motorcycles in general, would be my father. My father had bought a booster for me to race on the track, for me to do big racing, etc. When I was like 19, turning on to 20, it was my first time ever being on an actual motorcycle. I rode dirt bikes and ATVs prior hand when I was younger, but this is my first actual time being on a motorcycle. So I fell in love with the bike, just riding motorcycles. First time touching it. It was my first time ever being on a bike, so of course it was a struggle trying to get the bike to go and letting it alone it being a booster. But my father ends up passing away 2-3 weeks later, so that kicked off a whole different gate for me with motorcycles. It opened up a whole different door. It turned up the spark for me. The flame in me just kicked over, and it was like, okay, well, I gotta do this for real. I gotta take it 100% or don't do it at all. And then I came across roll racing on Instagram, social media. Ended up coming across a couple of videos, seeing these guys ripping it on the highways. Ended up buying myself a bike, took it out there on the highway, did a couple pulls, and instantly fell in love with the game. After that, it was just a wrap. I just started doing my research, looking into what I should do, what I shouldn't do. Took my first trip down to Miami, ended up getting my ass handed to me. I thought I knew everything, went down there and them boys and wiped the boards with me.
Smoke your boots, bro.
Yeah, you know how that shit goes. So I had to.
I've been there, bro. I've been there.
Yeah, it's part of the game. It's a learning experience. So I ended up coming back, making it back to the DMV after the first meet in Miami for me, and then I regrouped, got together with a couple of the locals. They pointed me in the right direction. Shout out to Reggie, Race Addict. He reached out to me. Me and him just been working ever since then, and that's where I'm at today.
Yo, big shout out to Race Addict, man, because
Big
that
shout
guy,
out.
he's
Big,
under the radar, bro, and he's such a good dude, man. Just as a human being, as a man, bro, he's a really good dude. I get nothing but good vibes from him. You know what I'm saying? I got to chop it with him.
Moral, he stands on morals and loyalty.
Facts. I got a little bit of time with him in Vegas, but he was moving and shaking. He had a job to do out there, and you can tell he was focused and he was really, you know what I'm saying, trying to get the best results for the guys he was there with. So, shout out to Race Addict. If you don't know him, go check him out at Race Addict on Instagram.
Yep, especially if you're somebody that's in the DMV area and looking to get into the roll race scene, definitely hit him up, man.
Nah, yeah, he's definitely he's a special guy right there. So, bro, so you get tapped into the whole roll scene, bro. And from what year was this? Do you remember?
I want to say so. Yeah, around 2022, 2023 is when I'm taking it serious and actually traveling, not just making videos and racing a couple locals. And when you actually travel, I'm actually going to the private events or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Around 2023 is when I actually started getting my foot out there in the door or getting my feet wet.
So let me ask you this, right? Do you feel like getting into the bikes, right, and getting into the roll scene allowed you to pivot your energy and kept you level headed just in general in your life?
Yeah, it definitely did. It gave me a hobby that I can focus on, and it's something positive that because I didn't come from the best background. You know what I'm saying? I know looks could be deceiving, but you could look at me and you could tell that I didn't come from the best background. You know what I'm saying? I didn't live in the best areas growing up, but being around motorcycles and seeing a lot of grown men that are on their shit, they got businesses, and you know what I'm saying. It's just, this is not just a hobby, but it's a positive hobby. It's something that you can get yourself away from what's going on around you. Like definitely, like, you know what I'm saying. I came from a pretty bad background, so I was out here doing a lot of things I wasn't supposed to be doing. When I got on the motorcycles, a lot of that stuff started to fade. All of that stuff started to fade away because it's like I didn't really care for it no more.
Hmm.
So the motorcycle definitely it opens up a whole different world for people, young people like me that's dealing with some, you know what I'm saying, you in a gutter situation.
Got you. Got you. That's what's up, bro. That's what's up. I feel like the role scene, man, it's definitely an outlet to everyone in different ways. Especially, bro, you're being your age in the culture that we're in right now, and the state of this world that we're in right now, bro. It's a rough place to be, my boy. If you're not mentally tough, it could lead you down all types of crazy ass roads. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to ask that and tap in with that because I was curious about that. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I think also the motorcycle stuff is just like it's definitely something that we need in the world today. Man, sport is, you know what I'm saying, definitely needs to be pushed out there a little bit more. We need that look right now in this world. We need the more, you know what I'm saying, we need more testosterone in this world.
Well, yeah, men aren't really men anymore, but that's a
Yeah,
conversation for a
yeah,
different time.
that's a whole different subject.
But another thing I wanted to tap in with you, bro, was do you think that the state of from when you started in roll racing, right? I feel like I've been riding since I was 19, but roll racing, it's only not even been 3 years for me. And I feel like in those 2 years of that, roll racing has grown and blossomed tremendously. Do you agree with that, or do you feel like it's been a slower process in your eyes
No,
since you've been in it
road
long?
racing has definitely grown over the years that I've been in it, and it's grown in positive ways and grown in negative ways. It's when I say positive ways, yes, it's a lot of people just find out how to make the bikes faster and, you know, aerodynamics, lighting of the bikes, all the positive outputs of testing and tuning. But when it comes to the actual community side, I've seen it over the time period. I've seen a lot of things change. Back then, it was more of just pull up, race. It doesn't matter what you have. You know what I'm saying? People are coming from different states to race. It doesn't matter if you're racing 9/10, you're racing half mile, just race the bike. You know what I'm saying? People are driving hours away. Now you pull to an event, you got people.
Stipulations, a lot of
Yeah,
stipulations.
it's going back and forth about who has what in their bike, what, you know what I'm saying, what motor they have in their bike, what fuel they're running their bike, who's riding the bike, how heavy the person is, how light the person is. It's like it's too much going on. And I think that a lot of people need to take a step back from just looking at want to win all the time and just focus on back to let's have fun. The purpose of doing this shit is to have fun and to make it back home. Is not that serious where if you don't want to race this person, then don't race this person. You don't gotta, oh, well, I don't want to race you because you have this and this in your bike, and then go on the internet and make a whole thing show about it. If that's the case, you don't want to race that person, then that's the case. You don't want to race them. You don't have enough. Come back when you do have enough. Just leave it at that.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely listen, and this is an interesting conversation because I have this conversation with some of the older heads. I had one actually just last night with Super. Shout out to Super H2. That's my guy right there. Much love to you. And he's definitely one of the OGs in the game. And we were talking a little bit about like, the younger generation. And I've spoken to a multitude of people about how, you know, a lot of people say that social media ruined it. Social media. Well, social media is basically it's a double-edged sword, because you could definitely say it's ruined the sport because there are people out here that only race for clout and they want to race such and such for clout or whatever they're trying to do. But in the same hand, it's pushed the culture forward, to where a lot of guys, that some guys still think that road racing isn't a real thing, but there's a lot of people that are now considering road racing a real thing. And we have to give a big up to the younger guys, because you guys are the ones that are pushing that narrative. You know what I'm saying? To make road racing what it can be and what it's becoming. So, there's a lot of, the respect factor too with some of the older guys. The disrespect between some guys. And my argument with that is that I've come across a lot of guys like yourself that, you know what I'm saying, you might be young, but your mindset is not that. You know what I'm saying? You grew up in a specific way where you think completely different. You don't think your age. And I've come across a lot of the younger guys that are like that. A lot of the younger guys that just hit me up to see how I'm doing when they don't have to. You know what I'm saying? So I think there's definitely a duality there, but I definitely see the growth and the love that the young guys have for this and the passion. Even in Vegas this year, man, like shout out to 702 Racing. Like those are young guys, bro. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
they all look like they're around my age, I want to say.
Yeah, they're young guys, bro, and look at what they're doing, and that's all for the love and the passion. I could see it in their eyes, bro. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the younger guys that are there. I think it was a great melting pot between the age groups in Vegas. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, bro, I was really curious on your outlook on that, and also along with that, how relevant do you feel like stock motors are now compared to before?
I mean, honestly, bro, I came from racing. My bike has always been stock, so I've never had a problem. I've raced 2 mils, I've raced 3 mils. It's not about the bike; it's about the setup, bro. You can have somebody that goes spend 9 grand on getting a 3 mil put into their bike, and the bike's not well properly set up. It's not set up for that, or they're not taking the time out of the day to actually test and tune that bike to figure out what sprocket setup it is, this and this and that. You know what I'm saying? You can get dog walked by a stock motor that's, you know what I'm saying, semi-light with a nice rider on it that somebody knows how to ride. I
Or a
think
light rider?
I think people are overlooking the stock motors a lot. I think people don't give the stock motors a chance. A lot of people get a bike and they want to replicate the last man's build and just throw a motor into it and think that it's going to be fast. But then I think a lot of people that are fast in the game are truly stock, and people are saying that they're not built. I mean, or saying that they are built, and it just stirs up pots. And like I said, it makes problems when you go to the meet. So like for the longest, my bike wasn't a stock motor. I guess that's what the community claims. My bike, literally, I bought my bike in 2021. I've never unloosened a motor bolt on my bike since I've had it. Now, this upcoming season, I will say it will have a motor, but the specs, I won't get the specs, but it will have a motor. It's nothing too crazy, but the bike will have a motor.
I think people underestimate, power to weight ratio and things like that. And I think that's where the you're not stock thing comes from. But
I think what it is, people underestimate the power of having a lightweight jockey that knows how to ride.
100%, bro. 100%.
It's not always just you having a super light bike and you have a power adder or you have a big motor. You you throw somebody that's 130 pounds on the bike and they can ride that motherfucker like, you know what I'm saying, like no other, then you gonna see the difference with them.
100%, bro. 100%. Now, as far as your platform goes and the bike that you have, give me a little bit of a background on, when you bought it, how it was, your how your build's been going for you, and what you're looking to accomplish next season.
I mean, honestly, so I bought my bike in 2021. I drove to Connecticut. I drove 7 hours away to go pick up my bike. The guy that was selling it, he was letting it go for a really cheap price because he was going through some problems. So I ended up getting the bike off of him. Cut stock. Yeah, the stock headers with the muffler cut off with like a chainsaw or something, bro. It had block offs on it, like I mean not blocks, but block offs, but the extension blocks on it.
Yeah.
And they were welded onto the actual stock.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. So
Wow.
I went through a lot with this bike. So I've dug through the bike, did a lot of weight reduction, my own personal weight reduction. You know, did all the goodie mods to it, lightweight wheels, lightweight tank. But last year we were having a lot of problems with the bike because I had a problem where, not that I had a problem, but I recently had my baby, so I don't really like, you know what I'm saying, my daughter. I don't like to really get on the bike as much as I did before, where I would take the bike out every single day and I'm making changes and this and this. Where now it's, I get on the bike maybe once a month and I, you know what I'm saying, I may do a pull here and there, a draggy pull, see what it does. And the bike is running really well, but the numbers would be inconsistent. So, you know, I ended up just jumping out there, going to a meet. Bike wasn't 100%. I'm not testing the bike like I normally do. So small flaws with the bike I'm not noticing. I start to notice because I'm running the bike consistently back to back at the meet. Fuel pump, fuel pump starts to go out. Small things like that because the inside of my tank was eroded, so it had clogged up the fuel pump, and small things like that. Shifter mount wasn't in place perfectly.
Yeah, so you were plagued with like little gremlins throughout the season, pretty much.
Exactly, yeah. So I was always running small problems. So over this winter, or the past couple months since the last event, since last Charlotte, when me and you went down to Charlotte, the bike's been torn apart, fixing up all the small things, and yeah, we're just waiting for a couple things to come in.
All right, so one last question for you, bro. I'm not going to hold you up too long here, but I'm curious. As far as the DMV goes, bro, you got any messages for the DMV? You got any warnings for the DMV out there? Because it's a big crew of guys within that area. So I'm curious to know what you.
Me personally, I'm not headhunting for anybody because I don't think that anybody that really. A lot of people bark up the tree, but don't really, you know what I'm saying, stand on what they really be saying.
Okay.
And next year, my bike is on a whole different ball game. It's going to be a whole different bike. So all I gotta say is any locals, anybody. I'm not even really going after anybody specifically, but you want to step out there, you can take a chance if you want to.
You want all the smoke, is what you're saying.
Exactly. You see what I was just doing, bro. All I do is smoke, bro. I hell it off.
Listen,
But it's for the most part DMV. That's my home team, so I want to see everybody prevail out the DMV. But definitely, you know what I'm saying. I definitely gotta make my trademark again because I was standing on, you know what I'm saying, standing on business for a little bit. I had to take a chill because of my daughter being born. But
100%.
Days back now.
Well, bro, I think that DMV definitely got some hitters. You know what I'm saying? You roll around with some stellar guys in the Gap TV situation that you got going on. I'm looking forward to seeing more of that next season. I definitely support that whole situation you got going on. And with Race Addict by your side, bro, I think anything is possible because you know what I'm saying.
Anything's possible as long as we put our mind to it, as long as we test and tune and do what we're supposed to.
No, listen, 100%, bro, 100%. BSK, I appreciate your time, young man. You know what I'm saying? I'm holding you up to a very high standard. You understand me?
Oh, next year,
you better show up and show out next year.
It's definitely gonna be a show, brother.
I appreciate your time, my brother, and we will talk soon.
Yeah, thank you for having me, bro.
Now you already know Streets Cartel in the building. We out of here.